Let me tell you that I failed on that
Okay.
one. And
Okay.
I say failed, I don't mean it in a negative way. I basically ran away after about 4 days because I was not
Mhm.
ready for it.
Could not handle that 9 to 5 stuff. And then I just left my job without any savings and stuff like this. I started my writing my first book and all that happened. Then just moved to Dubai, just all
Um,
alone and just living the way I want to live. This is so
it's a
beautiful.
beautiful fate. And,
Yeah.
I'm in my mid 40s now,
Hmm.
and I know that things are only gonna start going down.
Fame or freedom, if you had to choose one today, which one would you choose?
Big dreams don't come quietly.
They demand risk.
They demand fire. They demand transformation. Welcome to the Corporate Life Billion Dollar Conversations. Hosted by Hina Siddiqui, CEO and founder of Corporate Influence Media, creator of Capital Stage Credibility Positioning, 4-time Global Award winner, featured across more than 700 global outlets, and heard in 94 countries. Join us as we sit with tech CEOs, multi-million dollar entrepreneurs, and leading investors, the people building what's next. Here, success isn't a headline, it's a human story. The turning points, reinventions, failures, breakthroughs, and bold decisions that change everything. Because every life is a movie, and you're the star of yours.
Natalie, let's begin with your story in your own words.
Thank you for giving me that chance to share my story. Well, I am an immigrant from Russia to Canada. And when we first arrived to Canada, we really had this whole Canadian dream in mind that one day we're going to be homeowners and be super successful in our careers. I was only 13 at the time, but my
Mhm.
parents were really incredible. I admire them and I respect them so much for what they have done because they literally moved with just two suitcases and a heart full of dreams and hopes.
Mhm. Yeah.
And so we started a whole new life together in Canada. And it was difficult for the first little while. And I kind of carried that chip on my shoulder about being an immigrant because it was kind of looked down on. You were considered a second-class citizen,
Mhm.
not by Canadian government, but just by the cultural understanding of it, especially because I was from Russia and people didn't really know much about Russia back then. I
Yeah.
think people still have, their own
Yeah. Yeah.
stereotypes about
Yeah.
anyone. And so, of course, mine came with its own stereotypical comments and a bit of bullying about being a Russian immigrant. And so I spent a lot of the time kind of on my own and just being a loner and very shy, insecure about my culture, about my roots, trying to really fit in with the Canadian people.
Mhm.
And when the Miss Universe Canada competition came around, after I had seen it on TV, I thought, I could try to compete, but a lot of people told me I wouldn't be able to win because I was an immigrant with an accent, with a Russian last name. But something inside me really believed that I could
Yeah.
because I felt like I had the look, I had the moves, and I had the personality for it.
Yeah.
So I decided to apply, and the first time around, I didn't win the title of Miss
Mhm.
Universe Canada. And that kind of reinforced that belief for a little while that, oh, yeah, because the title went to a Canadian
Yeah.
born lady. But I said, I'm going to try again because I just had this vision that I'm
Wow.
going to come one day and wear the Miss Canada sash
Hmm.
on the stage and represent Canada because it really was my country, right? It felt like my country.
Yes.
I didn't really associate myself with Russia. I didn't even have a Russian passport because we left
Mhm.
when
Okay.
after the fall of the Soviet Union. So I decided to compete again and try again and did everything possible to prepare myself in the best possible way and really just held that vision really strong. And I won the second time around.
Wow.
And off I went to represent Canada at Miss Universe, which was held in Thailand back in
Mm.
2005.
Mhm.
And little did I know, I actually didn't go back to Canada. I went back to New York as the winner of Miss
Okay.
Universe.
Yeah. This is such an
Yeah.
inspiring story, and it's beautiful. It's like it gives a lot of hope to people who think that they are less than, or they don't fit in, or they need to do something, something more to fit in, or to be loved or accepted. It's just that self-belief, right? When you set that intention that you want to achieve something worthwhile and then you do it. And then it's such a beautiful experience and sense of accomplishment, right?
It is. And I tell people all the time, I don't really like the word fake it until you make it, but it's kind of the similar idea where
Yeah,
you hear the fears and the doubts
yeah,
and the limiting beliefs creep in, and you just do it anyway. You
yeah,
just say, okay, but my higher self, the
yeah,
version of myself that's whole and perfect and complete and doesn't have any of these fears, she can do anything.
yes,
She is limitless. She's infinitely powerful.
yeah,
And so I kind of just put those thoughts to the side and I say, it's okay. Those thoughts will be there and they
yeah,
can be there. I'm just going
yeah,
to keep taking action and keep moving towards what I know feels right in my heart
yeah.
and what feels aligned, most importantly.
Yeah, beautiful. This is amazing and so inspiring. How did your life change after you won the Miss Universe title in 2005?
Well, it certainly changed right after I won because I
Yeah,
went from being just fresh out of university, studying IT management, and thinking, what am I going to do with my life? Because I didn't really want to be in IT.
yeah,
I kind of had this, again, like misalignment, even though I graduated with a bachelor's of commerce and I had this degree, but somehow it didn't feel aligned. And I was looking for something. And
yeah.
I guess Miss Universe came at a perfect time because it kind of gave me this option to go in a different direction and take a
Mhm.
different right with my life. But
Yeah,
I think when I look back and when I think where would I be now had I not won or had I not gone to
yeah.
compete at all, I, I kind of have a feeling that I would be in almost the same place in my life, doing
Mm.
probably the same thing that I'm doing right now, coaching, writing books,
Yeah,
speaking in public. I probably would have found my way there anyway, because when something feels destined for us or we feel drawn to a particular
yes,
path, we're going to get there regardless,
yeah,
right, of what happens and which circumstances fall into place. And so the only way that I can describe it is that I took the most scenic route to the same
mm.
destination
Yeah.
that I would have been anyway, but Miss Universe just gave me this beautiful scenic route that I got to
I
experience,
love
travel
that.
the
Yeah,
world, have amazing experiences like photo shoots with the top world photographers, work with amazing designers, have all of these fantastic experiences
yeah,
around the world. But yeah, it's
yeah.
great. I'm so blessed about that.
Yeah, it's really great. And in your experience, what does it truly take, not just on the surface, to become Miss Universe? Because most of the times we think that it's mindset or it's strategy or it's discipline or anything tangible or intangible. I mean, in your opinion, what makes a winner, like what sets a winner apart from everybody else?
Well, if we're speaking particularly about winning Miss Universe,
Yeah.
I think all of those things that you mentioned are definitely a part of it. Discipline,
Mm.
action, motivating yourself and going for all of the things that you intend to do.
Yeah.
And that is a very masculine energy, right?
Mm.
And
Yes.
that could actually get you there. It'll get you at least halfway.
Yeah.
I think because, as women, and you can agree with that we're different from men in a sense that we have that feminine side,
Yeah.
that it's not just about go, 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 take action, you know, make progress and
Yeah.
never fail, and just kind of having that masculine mindset. What we
Yeah.
also have is our softness, our intuition, is a state of flow, right? Where
Yeah.
we can use our creativity and we don't have to be so stuck on any one particular goal. We can adapt easily and we can
Yes.
change as the circumstances come into our lives. So with Miss Universe, I feel it's a very similar thing
Mm.
where you need to have a certain amount of masculine energy, obviously,
Yes.
because it's a very action-oriented, goal-oriented thing to go and win a title.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if you are only using that part of your energy, the masculine energy, you're going to miss out on that softness, on that
Yeah.
heart-oriented approach that actually connects to people heart to
Yeah.
heart.
Yeah.
And about
The receiving side of it.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And so when you connect to other people, in the pageant, when you connect to the audience, when you connect to the organizers, people feel you on that heart level. And
Yes.
I think it's actually even easier to win when you just soften around the edges and you understand that other people have a heart too. And if you can connect to their heart through yours, something magical happens. People see
Mm.
you.
Yeah.
People see your beauty.
Yeah. It's all
So,
about energy, right?
yeah, of course, it is.
Yeah. It's about energy, and you explained it so beautifully, expressed it so beautifully, and I totally believe in that. I believe that, like it's yin and yang, and like masculine, feminine energy. So, of course, we need masculine energy to win something, to be successful in whatever area we are, in whatever domain of business or industry we are. But still, it's so important to use those untapped feminine sides of us to make it more speedy and faster.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly. And
yeah,
if we are identifying us as women
yeah.
and feel that we have that beautiful feminine energy, why not use it to our
Why not
advantage?
use it? Exactly. Yeah. And men don't have that, right? And it's like, uh,
Well, men also have masculine and feminine. Like in all of us,
yeah,
I have masculine energy,
yeah,
you have masculine energy as well as
yeah.
feminine, and men also have both. But and so men can actually learn as well from
They
women.
need to
That's
learn
a
it. They
great
don't.
pageant
Yeah,
question.
yeah,
A lot
yeah.
of pageant questions ask, what can men learn from women? And I think that's exactly what they can learn, that it doesn't always have to be about achieving goals. It can be more
Yes.
about connections and building relationships
Yeah.
and using your intuition and having that softer side, because it makes the journey a little bit more interesting and
Interesting. Yeah.
more beautiful. Just because otherwise it's just about set goal achieved, then you're moving on to the next thing. But
Yes.
in this way, you're actually enjoying the journey and you're making beautiful contacts, you're bonding with people, building
Yeah.
relationships.
Yeah, exactly. And I would also like to add here that it's not possible without the immense love for yourself. Because if you
Mm.
don't love yourself enough, you won't be able to take that walk, that tough road, and you would either give up or you would self-sabotage in some ways. So it's so important that you have that self-love with with that degree where you just can do anything because you want it. So here I would
That's
like
it.
to say that when I was growing up in India, it was more of in gender bias kind of stuff. Like women are not at par with men, and men are better than women, and that's side of the story if you know about it. So for me, it was more like proving to people like my success, like okay, I can achieve it, I can do better than boys, I can do better than men. I wanted to show this to the world, to my community, to my family, that I can do better. So it started from there. So I think we also think like if we just take that masculine side of it and we compare ourselves with the men and compete with them. And then I know that this was not the right thing to do at the beginning, but then my journey started with that proving
Mm.
yourself to the world. So this is very interesting what you just said. And after the initial excitement ends, right? You win some title or you get some phenomenal success in a area of your life. Now it's a spiritual process that we are shown the dark side of it. We are shown our limitations, and that's the process. And without that, we can't achieve anything worthwhile. What would you like to say on that?
Well, when it comes to, again, Miss Universe and achieving something that grand and that
Yeah.
massive at such a young age,
Yes.
it doesn't leave much room for self-awareness at that point,
Mm.
because you're thrust into the limelight where you have to almost bend and shape shift yourself to adapt to what the fans, the audience wants from you, from what the organization wants from you, from what the culture wants from you. And so it, as I said, it doesn't leave much room for personal growth,
Mm.
because you have to basically perform like a little
Yes.
clapping monkey and just kind
Yeah.
of like, okay, I'm perfect and I'm Miss Universe and I have to
Yeah.
be a certain way. And so it was a whirlwind for me. And obviously, I kind of neglected a big part of myself in
Mm.
that year,
Mm.
because I obviously didn't have even time for
Yeah.
self-love or
Yeah.
self-care on any level. And only when I moved to Thailand a year after serving as Miss Universe
Mm.
had I started to get into understanding of what is mindfulness, what is personal growth, what is
Yeah.
spirituality. And in Thailand, being a Buddhist country, there's plenty of temples where you can go
Yes.
meditate, kinds of meditation getaways and
Yeah.
programs. I had tried to go to for Vipassana meditation
Oh, wow.
pretty
I've
much
been there
soon after.
too. Yeah.
It's tough, right?
It's tough.
We completed the 10 days
Yeah.
of the
Twice.
program twice. Wow. You're my hero. Well, let me tell you that I failed on that
Okay.
one. And
Okay.
I say failed, I don't mean it in a negative way. I basically ran away after about 4 days because I was not
Mhm.
ready for it.
Yeah.
I was simply not ready for that level of quiet, that level of self-observation. And I realized soon after that I'm way behind in that sense of learning how to stay still, how to find that stillness, how to find that quiet and be okay with it without the
Mm.
mind going like a caged animal going, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
So I started my spiritual journey pretty much since that time, and little by little started meditating, learning things, reading the books,
Mm.
Power of Now and
Yeah. Beautiful
all
book. That's one of my favorite books, by the way.
yeah, exactly. That's really the one that I started with. And so I really started to go inwards little by little. For some people, it could be like a knock on the head and something colossal happens, and all of a sudden they might completely change and start their spiritual journey from something that happened all of a sudden.
Hmm.
But for me, it was just a slow, gradual process.
Yeah.
And so, because I was still in the entertainment industry, I was again still caught up in the material world and in the
Mhm.
superficial world of beauty. And because I had seen it from, swinging the pendulum all the way to that, to the
Yeah.
height of world, I also understood that the pendulum has to swing back the other way
Mm. Oh, yeah.
to find the inner beauty, to find the who I am on the inside without all the titles, without all the
Yeah.
material possessions, without everything that I believed myself to be, without even the physical attributes, like who am I? And so
Yeah.
it was a journey. It was a long journey to discover myself, who I am, face some pretty dark nights of the souls,
Mhm.
pretty rough ones,
Yeah.
and face some shadows and integrate the shadows.
Yeah.
Uh, and it's still an ongoing journey,
Yeah.
as
It's
you
an
know.
ongoing journey. Yeah. It's like it doesn't
Never
end.
ends.
It never ends until we are alive, we are breathing. It's there. And I don't know for how many lifetimes, how many more lifetimes it will continue.
I'd like to believe that we do have a choice,
Yeah.
unless we are trapped in a cycle of samsara, that we somehow don't have a choice. But as a soul, I believe in our sovereignty, that
Yes.
we should be able to, if we had done the work and we have
Yeah.
actually understood in one lifetime what actually it's all about, and maybe not fully, but at least partially glimpsed it,
Partially. Yeah.
I'd be able to say, okay, I've worked enough of my karma and made enough of a peace with myself to
Yeah.
not have to come back. And
Hmm.
so, yeah,
Yeah, this is amazing that you said that, and it's very interesting because I was just talking to a person who's friend who's very spiritual, is a spiritual teacher, teaching like having um, sessions with celebrities in India also, and he said, and I was talking to him and I said, I just want to complete everything in this lifetime. I don't want to come again. So he said, nobody has ever said that before to me. I said, this is my intention that I want to do all the work in this lifetime and never come back again.
I'm down for that. Get me off this ride, please. I'm good.
Yeah.
Thanks.
So, Natalie, what does your life look like these days and what purpose are you pursuing now? And why is it
Hmm.
important?
My purpose, I have realized, is to learn as much as I can, deepen my own spiritual understanding, learn about the purpose of life
Yeah.
and why we're here and how to live it in a more fulfilling and contentful way, and then pass it on to other
Yeah.
people. Because, as with anything, I think all people have that
Hmm.
purpose.
Hmm.
We either learn something like a skill, right? And we rise to the heights of our profession. And we tend to want to, at that point, pass on that knowledge to other people,
Yeah.
right? So let's say you're a great painter and you have mastered your skill.
Hmm.
You probably either want to leave that legacy through your paintings or teach that
Yes.
skill to other
Yeah.
people,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And so what can I do? Well, I've risen to the heights of Miss Universe.
Yeah.
I am coaching a lot of aspiring Miss Universe contestants, but
Mm-hmm.
what I want to teach them, and this is what I'm truly a big part of my teaching is how to not focus on just the outer beauty, but
Yeah.
how to focus on the inner beauty.
Yeah. This is so
So outer
beautiful.
beauty will fade. And,
Yeah.
I'm in my mid 40s now,
Hmm.
and I know that things are only gonna start going down. And it does for everybody. It's not, I'm not chasing perfection anymore. I'm not chasing to look young anymore. Of
Yeah.
course, like little bits here and there,
Yeah.
little upkeep is okay. But I am truly trying to develop this in myself and to teach other people how to cultivate those inner qualities that will
Yeah.
never fade, that will
Yeah.
only get better as we age,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. That's beautiful.
Beautiful.
And you look gorgeous, as I said before. It's also like the inner radiance that reflects on your face.
Well, that's exactly it. Inner radiance.
Yeah.
I mean, we know that we're not going to be 20 for the rest of our life. We're not going to look
Yes.
like we're 20 or 30 or
Yes.
40. And so why should we? We should embrace the fact that we
Yeah.
are getting old, and that's okay because we could be beautiful at any age. And that inner radiance shines through everything, through the eyes,
Yeah.
through your smile, through the way you carry yourself, through the work that you do,
Yeah.
through the fulfillment of your purpose and that alignment to your truth and alignment to your higher self.
Mm.
That's what that inner radiance actually is.
Yeah.
So my mission is to teach other women to find theirs and to
Yeah.
let it shine.
This is
Yeah.
beautiful because when you combine that outer beauty with inner beauty, it's magical because then your aura communicates a very beautiful, powerful energy and message to the world, and people are drawn to your radiance and energy automatically. You don't have to do the kind of hard work stuff like this. You are naturally like that, right? So this is beautiful, and this is what I teach in my programs also. It's about doing the inner work, and the outer work results will follow. So that's so important. Beautiful work that you are doing.
So important. Without that inner work, it's just no way forward.
Yeah, yeah, no way
Gotta give it.
forward. Exactly, exactly. It's also everything is spiritual, I believe, and everything that, and I say that nobody's doing anything to you, right? Nobody's doing anything to anybody. It's just the energy at play. What your energy is doing, what thoughts and energy and emotions you are emitting through your aura, that is just coming back to you. It's all the manifestation process.
You're so right. And I noticed that when I do that inner work, when I practice surrender, when I practice mindfulness, when I practice
Mm.
breathing, when I do yoga on a daily basis, things just seem to tune up
Yeah,
energetically
I agree
somehow.
with you exactly.
And then you show up as this whole other
Yes.
different person than if you didn't do that.
Yeah.
And as you said, it's that energy that speaks louder than anything
Yeah.
that we can say. So
Yes.
people feel it, they sense it. You're around, you walk into a room, and it's that aura that people are not even aware that they're reading the aura, but they
Mm.
are on a subconscious level.
Yeah, yeah.
Doing that inner work is so, so
It's so
important. So I'm glad that you're
important.
also you teach that, and that's a big part of your mission as well.
Yeah,
Thank you for doing
it's
it.
It's similar, like that's why I think we could connect on the same kind of frequency. Natalie, you wrote a book called Temple of Love. I would like to know from you, like, what inspired you to write that book and what the book is all about.
Well, that's exactly what I was saying earlier, is that I wanted to write the book to pass on everything that I had learned so far about
Mm.
my spiritual understanding, about my journey so far. The book is Temple of Love with the subtitle A Pilgrimage to the Heart.
Oh,
So
wow.
the subtitle says it all. It's
Yeah,
a pilgrimage, right? What is a pilgrimage?
yeah.
It's a journey that we take that's sacred. And
Yes.
when we go to the heart, and the heart represents our true essence of
Mm.
who we are. So it's a journey of healing, it's a journey of self-realization, it's a journey of self-transformation. And I wanted to write this book not in a way that reads like a self-help book, because at
Mm.
first it was going to be like that. But then somehow along the way of me putting the outline together, I thought, this actually could be a really good fictional story. So I took
Mm.
elements from my life and
Mhm.
characters and people that I know from my life and turned them into this fictional story of a woman on a search for true love.
Yeah.
Because, it mirrors my own search
Mm.
for
Yeah.
true love, because I've been a romantic ever since I was a teenager. And I was
Mm.
always thinking, "Oh, one day I'm going to meet this perfect person who is going to just complete me and give my life meaning." And really, love and relationships for me have been a very focal point of my life. And
Mm.
I think through relationships, I've managed to find myself very well.
Mm.
And it's not like that for everybody. People find themselves through many different
Yes.
modalities and ways. Some people do it through their work, through art, through,
Mm.
religion, you name it, right?
Yeah.
Hobbies, perhaps, or movement, or sports. For me, and I think a lot of women, especially the women that I coached, we're similar in that sense, because we
Mm.
are looking for love, and ultimately we're looking for self-love, to love
Yes.
ourselves. We're
Yes.
looking for we tend to look for that love because we want the validation. We want somebody to tell us we're beautiful. We want
Mm.
somebody to care for us. Ultimately, we're looking to give that to ourselves,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
it's the self-love, the real self-love. So the book, Temple of Love, is really about that. It's about the journey starting to look for
Mm.
a legendary temple that promises true love to anybody who pilgrims there. But ultimately, it becomes a story and a journey of finding and building your own temple of love
Mm.
inside yourself. And once you uh, uh, self-love has the three cornerstones, as I write about in the
Mhm.
book. The three cornerstones are self-awareness, self-care, and self-development.
Okay.
And once you understand what they are and you heal yourselves, the journey takes you through one chakra at a time, healing your
Mm.
generational trauma, healing
Yeah.
your inner child, um, finding your inner goddess, and so once you do enough healing, of course, it's never done, but
Yeah.
enough healing, get to the heart, at least you'll have that awareness of, oh, okay, here I am. This is what true self-love feels like, what it is like.
Yeah.
And then discovering that true love is actually a lot closer than you think. It's not
Yeah.
out there. It's
Yeah.
all in
Yeah,
here.
I believe that totally because, as I said in the beginning, like I started with my intention to prove to the world that I know that was a wrong thing, but then that was the journey that I started. And then I ended up to be a place where I thought, okay, I should love myself enough to do it for me, not to prove to the world, not to do it for, not for performance or not just for presence. I just want to be present to myself. And that's how like that kind of self-love. This is beautiful that you are
Well, you found your temple, you've built your temple of love because you
yeah,
took the pilgrimage to the heart and you
yeah,
understood what it means to
yeah.
really self-love.
Yeah, it took a lot of time because it was a journey as you said so beautifully that it's a journey. We don't start there. We just, get there by doing some
Yeah.
inner work.
Exactly. And some people might think, oh, it's so overwhelming. Where do I start? What do I
Yeah.
do? And so the book Temple of Love kind of serves as that guidebook
Yeah.
to where to start, because I actually give a lot of practical tools and ideas of what you can do. I draw a lot on Vedic philosophies from India,
Yeah.
from ancient texts and scriptures, as well as from yoga, because I'm a
Yeah.
yogi.
Yeah.
So a lot of it is very much heavily influenced by Vedic philosophies, a bit of Buddhism and yoga. But there's also so many New Age modalities talk about in the book. So plenty of ways that you can start. And in Temple of Love, you can get some real life practical tools and exercises you can try, including
This is
breath work.
beautiful. This is beautiful. I would love to read that book, and I will also include the link to the book in the description section so that people can find it there. And if you have a copy of it, would you like to show that?
You know what? I just moved and everything's in
Okay.
storage. I
Right.
almost grabbed a copy from my friend today, but then I forgot.
That's
But
fine.
thank you.
Natalie, you write about meeting Nayana, curantera, and exploring plant medicine. This looks interesting. So, what is it like? Would you like to talk a bit about that?
Yes, Nayana is a character in Temple of Love. She's a curandera, which is a female shaman who the
Hmm.
main character and the protagonist in the book meets on
Yeah.
her journey. She goes on to attend a shamanic retreat, which
Hmm.
includes taking ayahuasca. I don't know if you've heard much about it or if your listeners have heard much about it. It's a shamanic brew that has
Hmm.
been around for thousands of years, originating in the Amazon jungle, spanning many different countries like Peru and Brazil and Venezuela, amongst others. And they have used this brew to
Hmm.
connect to the spirit world,
Yeah.
to essentially enter an altered state of consciousness, to be able to connect to the spirit world and connect to the plant essence of ayahuasca. It's a feminine, almost like a motherly energy. That's why
Hmm.
they call her Madre Ayahuasca. And I myself have experienced this shamanic ceremony as well with a woman from Peru, and Nayana is based on this woman. So
Okay.
it's inspired by true events and real life events. And so in recent years, and I think in the Western world, ayahuasca has kind of become very popular and trendy right now, and
Hmm.
people seem to gravitate towards it, and they go to Peru and other countries to just do kind of like a quick healing.
Okay.
And I think it's almost abused in that way, and especially because it has a dark side of this industry where a lot of the shamans,
Hmm.
they take advantage of people and things like that, and they're not really doing it for the right reasons. They're not
Hmm.
facilitating the process correctly. But if it's done with the right intention, in the right setting, with the right people, with the right shaman or
Hmm.
curandera, as they call the female
Yeah.
shamans, it can be a profoundly awakening, heart opening, enlightening experience where the veil of the subconscious mind lifts temporarily, and you're able to access a lot of the things that have been staying buried deep
Hmm.
down. A lot of the things like traumas, unconscious patterns, the shadow self,
Yeah.
but also the beautiful things like your inner
Yes.
self, your
Yeah.
core essence, and who you truly are becomes available to you to take a glimpse and connect to that. Because with our minds, right, we're so busy in our daily
Yes.
lives, our minds are constantly talking to us and the ego is running the show.
Hmm.
But any kind of plant medicine administered correctly and done properly, you're able to temporarily lift that ego or move it to the side
That's
to
interesting.
connect back to
Yeah.
your true essence. And so
Yeah.
everyone has a different experience, and it
Hmm.
varies widely across person to person and also time to time that you do it. But in Temple of Love, you'll be able to read my experience
Hmm.
and the things that I had seen, felt, and experienced in the ceremony, which was really the confirmation that I was searching when I
Mm.
started the spiritual journey. What else is there besides the physical
Yeah.
world, material world that we see? I
Yeah.
got that confirmation that there's so much more
So
that we
much
don't see
more. Yeah.
and that we don't understand, and we might not even fully ever know.
Mm.
But at least it gives you a glimpse and sets a benchmark for how it could be, for
Yeah.
the love that is possible, for the awareness that is possible,
Yeah.
for healing that is possible.
Mm.
So it's, again, it's not a one-time thing that, oh, I've done it, I'm good now, I'm forever fixed. It is, first of all, there's an integration process that
Mm.
happens afterwards, and you should look for a person, a shaman, who is going to then help you integrate
Okay.
everything seen and experienced, because
Yeah.
otherwise it's useless. It's
Yeah.
not gonna do anything.
Okay.
And you need to have a plan moving forward. Okay, I've done this, what now? How can I take everything that I learned and apply
Mm.
it to my life? What actions can I take? What intentions can I set for further healing and for further development?
That's very interesting. That sounds very interesting because this is for the first time I'm hearing about this modality. This is very interesting, and I think that I can get more about this in your book and try to find out on my own, like how can I find some shaman who could
Mm.
help me with this? Yeah, this is very
They're
interesting.
out there, just as I said, do your research, talk to people who have done it and who they can recommend,
Mm.
and maybe interview the person who is going to be doing it. Because as I
Mm.
said, they need to have the right intentions as well. They
Yeah.
shouldn't be doing it just for money or just for
Yes.
fame or to be the guru, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm very careful about people who tend to have that guru complex.
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody who truly wants to share this as a gift, because it is a gift
Yes. It's a
from
gift.
nature,
Yeah.
right? From
Yeah. It's lovely.
Mhm.
And as you were writing this book, Natalie, did you ever think that I can't do this? And what kept you like going?
Writing the book is definitely a big task.
It's a big task.
I don't, I guess there were moments where I felt frustrated and overwhelmed. I don't think I ever felt defeated to the point where it's like, oh, that's it, I give up, I quit.
Hmm.
I think I just kept motivating myself because I've accumulated so much information and knowledge and experiences that I felt like I needed to get it out. So
Yeah.
the book was writing itself because I just felt like I need to get it out. And that was my intention. Every day I would set an intention saying that I'm going to align to my higher self, and whatever needs to come through will come through. And I had a little ritual before I was writing.
Mm.
First, I would ecstatic dance. I would just put on some kind of like tribal music and dance
Hmm.
around the
Yeah.
room to unlock that sacral chakra, which is
Mm.
responsible for creativity
Yes.
and the creative flow to start moving. Then I would sit down and put on some kind of like alpha brain music,
Hmm.
the
Yeah,
music
yeah.
that,
I've
that
tried it
really,
all. Yeah.
of course. And so I would listen to that for a few, maybe 10, 15 minutes. And then I would go into the writing session. And so I felt motivated every day. For 3 months, I didn't
Wow.
stop. Every day I wrote. And
Beautiful.
I just felt like it needed to come out. And I couldn't rest and I couldn't relax until I wrote it. It wasn't because I wanted to achieve the goal of writing a book. It's because I wanted to get it out.
Yeah, that's a beautiful thing, and uh it's a beautiful process that makes you so mature, and we learn a lot while writing a book, right, about ourselves, and we
Mm,
start seeing things from a very different angle that we have never done before as we write our own experiences.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a book in you that is waiting and dying to get out as well.
I have written 6 books so far. So it's like my latest was Fast Cash Flow Fix because I write for the CEOs and founders of tech businesses. This is the audience that I work with all the time. So this is like
Mm,
it's a very interesting process for me too. Like when I write a book, it's like, of course, it's it's a tedious process. Like you have to write and you have to make time for this along with so many other things that's going on in your life. But then it's a beautiful process. You learn a lot about yourself and get some beautiful ideas as you do that.
You're absolutely right. And so you know that process very well.
Yeah.
And through writing Temple of Love, I felt like I actually did the whole healing journey
Yeah.
from chakra to chakra. It actually,
Wow.
as I was writing it, I did the whole cycle. And even afterwards, I think I'm still in that cycle of
Yeah.
another bigger cycle of healing myself.
Yeah. That's lovely. What does true love feel like in your body if you had to describe it without any spiritual jargon?
I heard this phrase once, and it actually came from a song. I don't even know if it was the original of that song, but it was a house song that had words. And it said, what is well-being? Well-being is when you feel pleasant in your body, we call it health.
Yeah.
When you feel pleasant in your mind, we call that peace. And
Hmm.
when you feel pleasant in our emotions, we call it love.
Yeah.
I think true love is a combination of all three things. When
Hmm.
you have pleasant sensations in your body, in your mind, and in your emotions.
Yeah.
And that's why love is such a grand concept. It's not just one thing. It's not just
Yeah. As
one
we know
feel.
of it, most
Yeah,
of us.
exactly.
Yeah.
We might think we know what
Yeah.
love is,
Yeah.
but it's even almost impossible to describe it the same way like it's impossible to describe God.
Yeah.
I equate love and true unconditional love to God.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so if I'm able to describe how it feels in the body, I would say a combination of all three things when you feel pleasant sensations in your body, in your
Mhm.
mind, and on an emotional level.
Yeah. Yeah. You can feel that in your body. Yes, I agree with that. It's like it can be felt in body only when we are aware enough for that.
That's why
Yeah. Most of
sitting
the people are not aware,
quietly,
right? Mm.
yeah, sitting quietly and meditating on it could be a really good practice to
Yes.
say, okay, well, I want to tune into the feeling of unconditional love. In
Yeah.
fact, in India has been developed metta meditation, loving kindness
Yeah.
meditation. I often guide my students on.
Okay.
If I ever feel like I want to experience that vibration of unconditional love, I
Hmm.
try to run through that sequence of sending love in expanding circles from outside of myself
Yeah.
to further and further to my loved ones, to the people that I know, people that
Yeah.
I don't know, people that I
Yeah.
might consider enemies, and like everything in existence. And so
It's a
it's a
beautiful
beautiful
one.
feeling that you can, and you feel it in the body. You feel lighter, you feel almost like tingles and like
Yeah.
pleasant sensations.
You can only feel that. Yes, exactly. If Temple of Love was turned into a movie, who would play you and who would play Nayana?
Such a great question. I thought about that, and I thought that perhaps Anne Hathaway would play me. She
Mm-hmm.
doesn't look much like me, I admit. She's absolutely stunning in her own way, and she's just such a wonderful actress. I think
Um,
she has a way of being able to portray very feminine qualities,
mhm.
which my book really talks about embodying a lot of the feminine qualities. I think she has the capacity to hold all of that feminine energy and showcase it. For Nayana, I would probably say someone like Selma Hayek.
Mm-hmm.
She's got wisdom shining through her eyes, and that's
Wow.
exactly what Nayana is.
That's interesting that you are so much clear on that.
I'm sure if I really had to cast, maybe I would have to run through a lot of lists of
Yeah.
actors, but just off the top of my head, these are the two names that came to
Yeah.
me.
Okay, so what's the line or paragraph in your book that still makes your heart beat faster when you read it?
There's one particular segment where I speak to another main character
Mm-hmm.
called Alejandro, who is my friend in the book and someone who stands by me as a spiritual guide and as a support system, and someone who ultimately helps me to open my heart. And in one of the sections, he goes on a bit of a monologue where
Yeah.
he almost seems it almost seems like he's channeling something and it's coming through him. And he says, these days everyone is looking for a magic pill. A
Yeah.
magic pill to take the pain that they're in away. And they're
Yeah.
trying really hard to escape and do this and try this and figure out how to take that pain away. But nobody is actually willing to look at themselves and face the reality. And that
Yes.
sometimes it takes a lot of work and inner strength and courage to really look at yourself, dissect yourself
Yeah.
as a, I think I wrote something like, as a patient paleontologist, brushing layers carefully away to reveal the gorgeous artifacts that's underneath, and then dissect the specimens under a microscope to really look at yourself. It's not easy, right?
Yeah.
It's not easy
Not
to look
easy.
at yourself. And in those moments is when most people turn away and then they see their darkness, they see their shadow. Sometimes they even see their light and they can't handle it.
Can't handle
And
it.
so they turn away, they look away, they escape, they distract themselves. I'm victim to that as well. You know, we've
Yeah.
got social media. Instead of sitting quiet and stillness, sometimes I have that urge to check my social
Check.
media or check
Yeah.
my phone.
Yeah. Same.
None of us are immune to that. And
Yeah.
so but it does take a lot of courage, and it takes a different mindset to really say, you know what, as hard as it is to look at yourself, no one is better equipped than you to do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. It takes a lot of practice too. And it's a beautiful thing that you just said that we are living in the age of social media and we are so much, you know, keen on like, or you just have that each right that just go and check your LinkedIn or your Instagram or just see the mail like what's coming up. So this is like we live in that age and nobody's immune to that. Yes, this is beautiful. That's so true
Mm.
too. When you imagine a woman reading Temple of Love alone at 2 a.m., what do you
Mm.
hope she feels in that moment?
In that moment at 2 a.m., I would like her to feel a combination of strength and vulnerability at the same time. Strength in a sense that she feels that she's empowered to take life in her own two hands and realize that she is responsible for her
Yeah.
life. No one is coming to do it for her. No one is going
Rescue
to,
her. Yeah.
exactly, that she is the one who can create her life, design her life,
Yeah.
to take action on her life, and to essentially let the reality become a mirror of what's going on the inside.
Mm.
But it is, right? Everything we see on the outside is simply a reflection of who we are on the
Absolutely.
inside. And
Absolutely.
we are responsible for that.
Yeah.
In that sense, we have that divinity inside of us to create and to have the power to direct where we
Mm.
want our lives to go. And at the same time, as understanding that power and understanding that incredible ability, I want her to also find the humility and vulnerability as
Mm.
well.
Yeah.
Because if we only have that strength, then again, an ego takes over and it's like,
Yeah.
okay, running the show, I'm the greatest one. I don't need anybody. It's the ego
Yeah.
will take over very quickly.
Yeah.
Versus on the other hand, if you also are just super in humility and vulnerability, the ego will also come in and say, I'm the victim, I am
Mm.
poor little me, right?
Yeah.
So combination of these two things, the strength and the humility, the
Yeah.
power and the humility. And the humility in a sense that we are, just a little tiny speck in this unfathomable grand scheme of the cosmos, of the
Mm.
universe,
Yeah.
that sometimes we feel like, oh, my life, I'm the center and everything revolves around me.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
reality, we're all part of this cosmic dance, and we're all part of this beautiful
Yes.
system, and this beautiful, maybe system is not the right word, but beautiful conglomerate of moving parts.
Mm.
And we're an integral part of that
Yeah.
wholeness. And
Beautiful.
so having the humility also to ask for help. And as in Temple of Love, I also write that moment of where the main character, she goes through this, difficult time. She's after a divorce and she doesn't like her job and she doesn't know where else to do. She just come to the end of her road.
Mm.
And she finds the humility inside to pray for the first
Yeah.
time, right? And so sometimes we need to let go of that armor and just say, okay, I surrender. I
Yeah.
surrender.
I like
Let the
that.
universe guide me. Let my angels and my spirit team lead me and support me. I rely on them as
Yeah.
well as I rely on myself.
Yeah. This is
So
so true, and this is so beautifully, like you expressed it so beautifully. It's so important that we know that we are supported. We know that we are not never a victim. We always have a choice, and by doing some work, by changing our inner self, we can change the external environments, the people around us, and everything. But people don't believe in that usually. They are more into like they want to change the mirror, the the reflection, and not the person. Actually, the so this is something
it's
happened without.
impossible. You cannot
Yeah,
change the reflection unless you
yeah.
change the person that's looking in the mirror.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Just keep on blaming people, blaming gods, circumstances, that this is not happening, that's not happening, I'm a victim.
Blaming parents
Blaming
for
parents, exactly,
whatever.
society. Yeah. So it doesn't work, right? It doesn't serve any purpose and it doesn't change any lives.
No, it only serves a purpose up to a point where you become aware. For
Yeah.
instance, yeah, okay, my
Yeah.
parents raised me in this way. This is what society taught me.
Yes.
This is what things have happened. This was my trauma, for example.
Hmm.
It's good to have that awareness, but the moment you have that awareness, you have a choice. What do you want to do with that awareness?
Exactly.
Do you want to
Exactly.
don that um, victim mindset, or do you want
Hmm.
to say, no, I am in charge here. I
Yeah.
can do so many things, and it's up to me to change my perspective. And if you need to cry, go ahead and cry, because
Cry.
we don't
Yeah.
want to escape and
Yeah.
bypass, and we don't want to block the emotions from coming. But that's why I think as women, we have another gift that we're able to express our emotions a
Yeah.
lot
Easily.
easier,
Yeah. Yeah.
not only because of our biology or whatever it is, but also culturally, it's okay for women to cry, right? For
Yeah.
men, it's not okay to cry. But I think a lot of the men these days, I'm noticing they're much more easy to show vulnerability. And I think that's
Yes.
beautiful.
Yes. Yeah. That's really nice and beautiful that it's so important to cry. And when you cry, a lot gets washed away. So lots of energy gets cleared. And so important that when you feel that victimhood, just go cry.
Or scream, whatever you need to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Natalie, what are you still learning about yourself?
Ooh, I'm still learning every single day. I'm still learning. Um, I'm still, I had a really good answer to that question. I was actually running around today and I was thinking about it. I'm still learning how to surrender.
Hmm.
I think it's probably one of the hardest parts. And in Temple of Love as well, there's a message encoded into the pyramid, the Temple of Love itself. One of which is, of course, the secrets of true love, of
Yeah.
self-love, as I mentioned before. And another secret is the steps to personal transformation. How do you go from where you are to where you want to be? And the moment you have that awareness of the issue, the pattern, the habit, the reality of what you're doing or how you're living, that's when that process begins. And that's when we can set the intention, which is the second part. Then we can take action. And I feel like those things, for me at least, kind of come easily because I've done it, right? I've
Yeah.
set goals and I've done them. I've won Miss Universe. I've written a book. I've, achieved things that I wanted to.
Yeah.
But surrender, which is that last piece of the puzzle, is really the toughest one because sometimes we're so set on an outcome and things going in a particular way. And when things don't go as planned, we either get angry or we start to push, which creates resistance and drops our frequency and doesn't keep us in alignment to what
Yeah.
we want. Because we're creating that resistance. And so surrendering and going with the flow and seeing how things unfold without reacting to it by saying, okay, things are not going the way that I want to go, but trust, surrender, take a deep
Let
breath.
go of control.
Let go of control.
Yeah.
You don't know what
Yeah.
good can come out of this
Yeah.
if you just let go. And maybe I'm not going to achieve exactly that, but maybe it's going to be even better.
Much better.
Maybe
Yeah.
it's going to direct me to something even
Yeah.
better that I couldn't even imagine.
Yeah.
So it is something that I'm learning still every day. But that's part of the process,
That's part of the
right?
process. Yeah. Yeah. Right. So, fame or freedom, if you had to choose one today, which one would you choose?
Oh, by far freedom. I think
Freedom.
my middle name should be freedom. Ever since I was a child, I remember being a child going to my grandparents' house, and at my grandparents' house, I didn't have the same strict schedule as at my parents' house.
Yeah.
And I would scream out freedom, and I would run back and forth, and I just feel that freedom. And it's been the theme of my life. I think, in
Yeah.
fact, by numerology, my life path number is 5, which is
Oh,
seeking freedom.
yeah.
That's what it translates to in numerology. And no amount of fame. In fact, fame, I see it as the opposite of freedom
Yeah.
because I've had fame and
Oh,
I've been in
yes.
a position where my life was not my own. I had to conform to the organization, to the
Mm.
culture, to society, to the way I was expected to be. And that fame actually took my freedom to be myself away.
Yeah.
To a certain extent, of
To the
course, because I
circle.
had
Yeah.
to uphold certain level of
Yeah.
appearance, a certain level of acting and being. And so I think I'm just to sometimes the horror of my parents, I choose freedom over everything,
Yeah.
even
Yeah.
financial stability or success
Yeah.
sometimes.
Yeah, I so much resonate with you. Freedom has been the main theme for my life. Like when I was in my country, I was living different at a different place because I wanted my place. I wanted to be just like me. And then I never could survive in corporate jobs because could not handle that 9 to 5 stuff. And I was like, and then I would say that I would never do that. And then I just left my job without any savings and stuff like this. I started my writing my first book, and all that happened. Then I just moved to Dubai, just all alone, and just living the way I want to live. So this is so important. Like freedom has been the core instrument in my life too. So I so much resonate with you.
Oh my gosh, have that in common for sure.
Yeah.
I couldn't survive in a corporate world. And like I said, my parents sometimes are like, how are you like, how do you live? How do you do this? But
Yeah.
that's a part of surrender. And I love what you said, that you trusted enough in yourself and you
Yeah.
trusted enough in the universe
Yeah.
outside of you as well to catch you because you felt like you were in alignment. Otherwise, if you had decided, oh no, but because of my family or because of cultural conditioning, I should go into corporate life, but it was so out of alignment
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
you.
Exactly.
So imagine living like that. I mean, it would feel like a prison.
Yeah, same, same. Like I have felt like that in my past, and now I'm so happy that I'm free finally.
That's so inspirational, Hina. I really,
Yes.
really love that you did that. And that gives me a lot of hope. And I want everyone to hear you saying your story.
Beautiful. Thank you very much for this. And what last words would you like to say to my audience? And where can they find your book with ease?
Thing that I would like to say as the last words today would be the mantra that has been keeping me going for the past
Yeah.
couple of years through all the challenges and crazy ups and downs. And this is happening for me. This is not happening to me.
Yeah.
Everything that happens is happening for me. And when I shift my perspective to that, it makes it easier to handle. It makes it easier to breathe. It gives it a lot more meaning. It's not just a meaningless bad thing that happened to you. It's a purposeful thing that happened for my growth, for my evolvement, for breaking the generational trauma, for passing on inspiration to other women, for being able to talk about something and teach how to rise above those challenges to my daughter as well. And so if I could leave everyone with just this, whatever something happens, no matter what happens, always say this is happening for me, and watch how things change.
Yeah. This is a beautiful mindset to have, and attitude that life is always happening for us and not to us. This is such a beautiful line, and this is such a beautiful mantra that we all can learn today and start using it in our lives whenever things go wrong.
Yeah, it's been super helpful to me. And if people want to find my book, Temple of Love, Pilgrimage to the Heart, that's available on all the online retailers like Amazon, Barnes and Noble, I'm sure with delivery worldwide at this point. And you can also find me on natalieglebova.com, my website. Book a free inspiration call with me if you feel called to do so, because I love talking to people from all over the world and helping them truly find their inner beauty, crown their inner beauty queen, and to find that temple of love within themselves.
That's beautiful. And we are going to include your information, contact information in the show notes section so that people can find you there and connect with you. It's beautiful. And I'm looking forward to recording with you in studio whenever you are coming to Dubai or whenever I'm coming to Bangkok.
I'm looking forward to that as well. I'm sure we have so much more to talk about. We could go for hours.
We can go for hours, exactly.
This is The Corporate Life. More stories, more insight, more truth. Until the next episode, stay curious. Don't forget to subscribe.